This is a video in which I'm going to try to tell you as much as possible about these Ferrari Mondial Quattro that I am going to put on auction, out for auction on Bring a Trailer. So the car is from 1984, August 1984, and it's a Euro spec. The car was originally purchased in France, kept about 4 years by the first owner, then was kept for almost between 1989 and 2013 by the second owner, and then in 2014 I bought it when I was living in France. I bought it from a French Ferrari dealer, Modena Sport, and they took their time, about 3 months, to make sure that the car was great. They did the timing belts, the service and everything before they delivered it to me. Since then, so about 8 years ago, in the last 8 years, I've been taking care of the car very much. I did some little upgrades here and there, nothing weird, but just things that had to be fixed. And let's see. So, as I said, this is a Euro spec car, as you can see. The color is black metallizzato, and I think here and there has been repainted, of course, as it happens with a car which is 38 years old. Let's go around. So the wheels are the Cromodora, the original wheels. I didn't do any modifications there. Did you see a lot of Mondials with 348 wheels? No, these are the wheels that the car came with, and so is the same model of tires. So these are, of course, fresher Michelin TXR. I like to use the TXR because that's how the car was meant to be, and I like to have the same kind of driving feeling that the car had in the 80s. These tires were changed, I think, between 2016 and 2017. I didn't really drive the car much. I probably drive the car between 500 and 1,000 kilometers per year, so not much. And so they were changed in 2016, and I believe there's at least 2/3 of tires still available, even in the back, so you don't need to worry about tires. Some people, they find these tires a bit too expensive, or the ride a bit too anachronistic. They do buy replica rims, 15 or 16 size, and so then they can buy cheaper, more modern tires, but in my opinion they lose half of the fun. So the design of the car is Pininfarina. I think it was actually Ingegner Fioravanti that designed the Mondial. The Mondial is the successor of the Dino 308 GT4, and I think he was tasked to the idea of making it a bit more suitable for the 1980s, and in fact it's very 1980s. You have here this air intake, which is really similar to the one that you see in a bigger way on the Testarossa. There's this common continuous theme of the stripes, so there are stripes in the back here over the engine, and the same here in the front on the bonnet. Moving on to the interior of the car, so you have this leather. I keep the little ugly rubber because I don't want to ruin the floor, but you can see how the floor is, the carpet is perfectly good, and so is underneath the carpet. No problems whatsoever, apart from a bit of dirt, which is normal. The seat and the interior, let's say, has some patina. I didn't go for one of those restorations, so the seat is the original seat with all these little, signs of time. There's only a little hole there, so if you're really bothered by it, I think it's easy to get it fixed. You can easily get all these looking like new, but I like it like this. It's an old car, it's supposed to be old, to look old. The steering wheel, it's a Momo, it's leather, There's leather also up here. The gear level and the grate there is exactly what you expect from a car like this. The Alpine stereo is period correct, it's a tape player. That speaker works, this speaker doesn't work. You will probably need to change it if you really want to listen to music in this car, but it's really pointless because the music comes from the engine. Very 80s, all the different commands here. You can open the petrol tank from here. You can see the little Ferrari logo. Even just this is a beauty, honestly. Okay, I have the original bag with the jack and other tools. I don't have the original toolbox. I never got it, so I'm sorry, it's not here. This is aluminum, so when you close it, you just can close it like this. So some little dents here, right where the registration plate used to be in Europe, when the car was in Europe, and unfortunately I left it like this, but it's an easy fix. The 4 pipes, the car really sings. So let's see what's going on in the front. Here you have the spare tire, also TXR, with one more Cromodora rim. This is all about this is for the clutch and was just recently refurbished. It's totally new. I think this is for the brakes. I'm not really technical. This is also for the brakes. This all works perfectly. The fuse box, or actually the fuse board, is new. So the fuses that you see are the original fuses, but the fuse board, I replaced that 3 years ago with a new one that is produced by a Belgian company. So what they do, they recreate the fuse board of Mondials and Testarossas and GTOs, etc., but they recreate it with modern materials. So this car doesn't have the typical electric weirdness of some of other Ferraris from the same period. That's the battery that was also replaced, I think 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So it's totally new. Here you can see that it's a French car. So Charles Pozzi was the historic French importer. This is the radiator for the cooling, and these are the headlamps that pop up, obviously, as it should be in a car from the 80s. So again, same problem in the front. There was a bigger registration plate, so there's some little holes here. This is not perfectly straight. The car is accident free. There's nothing that shows any sort of accident. Obviously I didn't have any accident, but this is not perfectly aligned. It's all plastic and probably it deformed with time. The lights are yellow because this is a French car. So this is how it came out. The fog lights are also yellow. This was the French specification. I do have white lights as well that I had to install when we moved to Germany, when the car was in Germany with me, to pass the tooth test there, but I like it more with the yellow ones as it was, and with the yellow fog lights. Aesthetically it looks very good and clean, as you can see. Of course it's an old car, but it's really good condition for the age. There are only 3 things that I want to disclose. So the first one, the headlamps, they work, but the high beams, they don't work right now. I don't know why. It just happened this year, and frankly, since I'm selling the car, I don't feel like looking into that, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. It's just the light, the high beams. The left driver window regulator was changed 3 years ago, but seems to have some problems again. So the window is a bit low and makes noises. So the last thing is the air conditioning. That the car has air conditioning, but I think that the cables have been detached from the unit, from the compressor, etc. So what happened there, I'm not really sure. When I got the car from the Ferrari dealer, it was working, even if it was really not really making much of a difference. It gave me some problems from time to time, and one of my mechanics decided to detach the cables. So if the buyer wants to fix the air conditioning, then we need to look into that. So once more, car super solid, looks fantastic, goes in a fantastic way, pristine from a mechanical standpoint, with these three little things: the high beams, the AC, and the window, which works but is low. For the rest, it's a magnificent car, very original Euro spec. So again, I hope this was helpful. Best of luck with the auction. See you on Bring a Trailer. Now the engine is a bit warmer, so we can try to push a bit more so you can see how the car goes. Of course, we are not going to make any loss, so we need to take it easy at a certain point. This is now third gear. By the way, as you can see, it's me. Of course, my seat is all the way back, but there's my son here, my daughter here filming. Hi. So we can actually have a little family day, well, part of the family day with this car. No problem, you're not going to feel lonely. You can be up to 3 people, and if you're not so tall, you can actually move this seat also a bit forward and enjoy some time. Yes.